Massive, shocking development. The United States has launched direct airstrikes on Iran's most heavily protected nuclear facilities, Fordo, Natanz, and Isfahan. The attacks happened just after midnight, under total secrecy, using B-2 stealth bombers, some of the most advanced aircraft in the world. So now the big question is this the end of Iran's nuclear conflict, or the beginning of a new war in the Middle East? Perhaps even a major one. Weeks before the strike, the US appeared to be massively mobilizing its strategic military assets, including B-2 bombers, in the Middle East and on the island of Guam, a key strategic location in the Pacific. It was a clear indication of potential US intervention in the Israel-Iran war. And now it's clear, those moves were not just for show. Israel had a strong ambition to destroy Iran's nuclear sites, but it couldn't achieve that even through major strikes, because it lacks the tools to penetrate Iran's deeply buried underground facilities. Only the United States has the kind of heavy firepower and platforms, like the B-2 bomber, capable of reaching those nuclear bunkers hidden beneath mountains of rock. The US likely used the GBU-57 Massive Ordnance Penetrator, also known as the Bunker Buster. This beast is about 20 feet long, weighs over 14,000 kilograms, and can smash through up to 200 feet of reinforced concrete or rock before exploding. The explosion extends its destructive power up to 30 feet beyond the point of impact. If that isn't enough, its intense shockwaves can affect vital systems, tunnel, or support structures an additional 20 to 40 feet deeper. So its total destructive power reaches up to 250 feet. So, did the US effectively destroy the attacked nuclear sites? Natanz and Isfahan, two of Iran's major uranium enrichment facilities, likely suffered significant damage, as both are only around 100 feet deep, well within the targeting range of US bunker buster bombs. However, Fordo, the most secretive and heavily fortified nuclear site, is buried deep under a mountain, approximately 260 to 330 feet underground. This depth likely puts it beyond the reach of a single US bunker buster strike. That's why President Trump emphasized that they dropped the full payload of bombs on the site. Multiple precision strikes on a single point can significantly increase penetration power, so there's a chance Fordo also sustained serious damage. In short, Iran may have lost its three most critical nuclear sites, which formed the backbone of its uranium enrichment program. But, and this is key, Iran's nuclear program is not over. There are at least 3 other known sites where enriched uranium may be stored or supported, though these remaining facilities are not deeply buried like Fordo. While the US strikes delivered a heavy blow, Iran's nuclear capability may still survive in fragments, especially if some material or infrastructure was dispersed or hidden. So, even if the US destroyed these 3, the story might not be over. So far, there are no reports that Iran's massive missile storage facilities were hit, something Israel strongly opposes Iran having, especially after the nuclear program. Iran's missile program can't be easily targeted like its nuclear sites because the missiles are stored deep inside mountains, hidden in long tunnel networks that cover wide areas. On top of that, many missiles are mobile, meaning they can be quickly dispersed or relocated, making them hard to detect and destroy in a single strike. So far, Iran's missile force is still very much intact and capable of striking Israel, Gulf countries, and even US bases. So the real question is, will these strikes bring Iran down or push it toward the next level of war? First, we need to understand the importance of the nuclear program for Iran, especially for its current regime. Iran's nuclear program is a symbol of power for the Islamic regime. It projects strength to its people and fear to its enemies. If the program is destroyed, the regime appears weak, and that's a nightmare scenario for Iran's leaders. Now, it is unlikely that Iran will simply sit at the peace table. It might retaliate with drones, cyber attacks, or even deadly missiles from its arsenal. Agreeing to a peace deal while in a weakened position during war would be seen as a clear defeat, one that could threaten the survival of Iran's current regime. And remember, Russia and China are watching closely. Both have strong ties with Iran's leadership. If this escalates further, we could see a proxy war or even direct involvement from them. The US might think it stopped Iran's bomb, but it may have just started a wildfire. Now, Iran has a reason to strike back, not just at Israel, but also at US bases across the region. That means Gulf countries could be dragged directly into the conflict as well. And once that happens, it's no longer just Iran versus Israel or Iran versus the US. It could pull in the entire Middle East and possibly ignite a global conflict.